Hey guys, welcome to Burr Cash Flow Investors. I believe you should be able to hear me now. Today we're talking about what is freedom, right? What does freedom mean to you? So everybody's going to define freedom kind of differently. So I'll kind of break it down in two parts. So for me, if you had asked me when I was, say, 15, I mean, maybe I should say 20, 25, 30, 32, 33, freedom was something different, whereas today, freedom means a little bit different. So this is going to depend on your age group. This is going to depend on where you are in your life. But today, if you ask me, freedom is two things. Now, we have to take into account that hopefully you already have good health. So we're taking that equation out, because you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the time in the world, but if health is an issue, you don't have freedom because you're captured by your, so that foundation hopefully is clear. Now, there are two types of freedom. Number one is financial freedom, meaning financially I can afford X amount of things, right? That's one. And then number two is the freedom of time. So there are a lot more people that have financial freedom, but they don't have freedom of time. So it's easier. So let me explain. So let's just say somebody has a really, really good job. Their spouse has a really good job. They tend to live within their means, and they get to an age of, say 40s, whatever, they make way more than what they spend. They have a financial freedom, meaning they can do what they want, and meaning in terms of purchasing things, in terms of being able to afford things. So financially, they may be free. If they've invested wisely, be it in real estate, be it in stock market, whatever, and they have a kind of $100,000 spending, but they have 250, 300, 400 income coming into the household. And there are a lot of couples, there's a lot of individuals that have that. But what they don't have the time. So to keep income coming in, they have to give up their time. So what the freedom is all about today, if you ask me, it's not only finances, but it's also in terms of time. So I'll kind of put it in my own perspective, right? For me, if I look at it in terms of rental income, do I have financial freedom? Yes, right? If I live a pretty good lifestyle, the rental income that comes in will keep coming in. I don't have to necessarily commit any time out of my personal time if I decide just to say, okay, I'm pretty good, right? I can live pretty much the rest of my life just with the rental income that comes in. So in that case, I have income and I have the time. Now, if we look at the other side of the business, meaning if I look at all the events, all the seminars, all the other stuff that I do, right? On that end, do I have financial freedom? Yes, I have financial freedom, but excuse me, I don't have the time freedom, meaning that if I was not putting in the time on that side of the business, that side of the business would not continue to grow. And I'm not sure that side of the business could exist. I mean, mastery would still exist. All of that would still exist, but any of the growth would go away. Why? Because that side of the business is dependent on my efforts to begin with, and then everybody that's a part of that team. Right? Without that team, obviously I couldn't do anything, but yet I have to be there to drive certain parts of the business, and that is critical. So if you look at it, even in my own circumstances, on the rental side of it, I have the financial freedom. I have financial freedom. I have time freedom if that's all I choose to do. I can do what I want when I want. I can buy properties, not buy properties. Wouldn't make any difference, right? I have plenty of money that comes in terms of rentals. But if I look at the growth in terms of, like, I'm buying a year about 40 to 50 properties in a year. So for that to continue, that still depends on me. I don't yet have enough of a support staff, enough of a team built where that will take care of itself. Now, can I do that? I'm in the process of developing that. But still, that is dependent on me. Same thing with, be it Chicago REIA, be it National RE Invest, be it with all the growth that we're trying to do in terms of mastery, something like this, right? This is much more dependent on me. So on that end, if I was honest, I don't have the time freedom. So if I'm in Florida for 3 days, guess what is happening? Even though social media posts are happening, even though all the other stuff is happening, still that if I was just gone for extended period of time, let's just say 2 months, guess what? As a business, we would have a problem because we have not yet put ourselves in a position where that part of the business is on autopilot. So it is not an autopilot business because we haven't put those pieces in place. So what does that mean to you? And it's going to be very different. Like today, if I asked for a lot of people this question, a lot of people would say, Andrew, we have financially, I'm doing better. Right. So let's just say if I took Rahul into the equation, right? Rahul maybe spends 4 or 5 hours a week, if that, right? Managing the portfolio that I and him own together. So, and that's it. Rest of it, Miss Sandra is handling that part of it. Now, does that mean that he doesn't have to look after everything's going okay, make some key decisions? Yes, he does have to do that. But yet, if he decides to go to Florida and if he decides to go stay there, can he pretty much handle the business living in Florida? Or can he pretty much, he decides to go on extended vacation to India, and can that be pretty much handled sitting there and Miss Sandra taking care of the business here? Yes, right? Now, he's not going to buy any more properties that he's trying to add to his portfolio, but he would be in a position where he can actually take off and have the financial means as well as the freedom in terms of time. So he is in a position more so than me because I tend to run this side of the business. So I have other responsibilities that he doesn't have to worry about. Same thing if I take, say, someone like Farah, if I take a bunch of people like that, right? Farah has the financial freedom. The real estate has allowed her the financial freedom to be able to take off, to be able to be gone for an extended period of time. Now, the CEO function for the business for me that she does today, that part of it would be hampered. But guess what? Does she have enough income that comes in for her to have her time, for her to have her cash flow coming in every single month? She 100% has that, right? And this is a choice that a lot of us have to make. So what do I mean by that? In terms of the income that comes in, right? If your expenses are not in relation with that, then it's very easy to have that financial freedom and to be able to have the time freedom. That is something that you can accomplish with real estate. So let's just say if I took $10,000 as a number, right? That $10,000 is what you need to live on every single month. You have a couple of kids, you have a nice house, you have some cars, and you may have a little bit of debt in terms of on your cars, maybe on the house that you live in, but still you can live a really good quality of life and have, is that going to be like you're, oh my God, I'm just rolling in dough? No, you're not going to do that at $100,000. But can you live that lifestyle today? Absolutely, you could, right? If you don't live, especially if you don't live in Chicago, the cost of living in most of the rest of the part of the country is not going to be quite as high. For some people, you may say, well, I need maybe more. 10,000 is not enough. I need 20,000 a month, right? We have a lot of people in Mastery that are already at the $10,000 net income a month in terms of cash flow. There's a bunch of people that are at 20,000 a month net income in terms of cash flow. And so that's what you have to look at is what is freedom and what is freedom to you. So freedom to me is having enough money and being able to make time. Now, for someone like me, I kind of eat, breathe, and sleep real estate, meaning that what am I going to do, right? If I went to Florida, I'm just not the type of person that's going to go wake up in the morning, get out on the boat, drink beer all day, go out for a nice dinner and feel great, right? I know I'm going to feel depressed if I did that even for a day, right? So unless for me, my mind is working, I'm doing something productive, I just get a headache, I feel off, I don't feel normal, right? For me, a normal day is a busy, productive day. I feel the best whenever I'm busy. Whenever I'm not busy, I have too much time on my hand, I feel down, I feel depressed because I feel that I'm just not doing enough. I'm not living up to my potential, but that's just how I'm built. I can't help myself, right? I've tried to do nothing. The only time I can do nothing is if I'm going on a big hike to Grand Canyon, this or that. My brain is occupied all day. I'm exerting myself, and then I'm not thinking about a lot of other stuff. But otherwise, most of the times, I love what I do. I get to do it, and which is a huge blessing. Now, that doesn't mean it doesn't come with its own area of stress, right? It creates its own stress. But at least I get to do and I can live on my own terms. As some of you guys saw last couple of days, I was down in Florida. So I went and followed up on a bunch of real estate or a bunch of stuff that we're building. So that's kind of work. But at the end of the day, what am I doing? I'm out looking at a bunch of properties, which makes me happy to look at a bunch of properties, right? Then we're going out at night for dinner with other colleagues, be it Todd, be it Vince, be it other people from Mastery, right? Those people I'm kind of friends with, I have a business relationship with, whatever you want to call it. So for me, all of that is hangout time. Now, at the end of the day, I might be exhausted because I've just had a full day, but yet I've had a productive day. So for me, it's fun. For other people, they may say, but Andrew, I don't want to do that. I want to be working all the time. I want to go be able to enjoy a nice vacation. Maybe that's for you is Peru. Maybe it's Switzerland. Maybe it's Paris. Maybe it's just somewhere else, right? And that definition for everybody is going to be different. For me, the definition of freedom today is being able to do what I want and when I want. Now, having said that, I also want to put this thing in place. That just because if you do have all the time in the world, what are you going to do? Some people will just get in an RV, travel, especially let's say if you have kids, right? If you have if you have parents around, right? My parents now are no longer around. Maybe I should have done more of that. At that point in my life, I really wasn't in the financial position where I could do some of the things. Today, I realize maybe I was, and I didn't realize it. Right? But for some people that have younger kids, that have kids maybe that are just about to go to college, that maybe in high school, that maybe sophomores, maybe seniors, you may choose to value your time of being able to spend time with them because you know that time is short. Once they get to college, once they start working career-wise, they're going to have their own families and they're going to be off. So our definition of what is freedom is going to be a little bit different based on where you are in your life, what you're able to do. I'll give you an example yesterday, right? Yesterday it was fun because in the morning, I was we went and did the whole driving a Ferrari experience, right? Where you go to the racetrack and you have that extreme experience or whatever they call it. So in the morning, I did that. Actually, I think Faraz's son was with me. I'm like, who can I take with me that'll enjoy the same experience? We go do that, come back, and it's real estate all day long till night. I was happy. I'm like, oh my God, I had to got to have a little fun in the morning, right? Rest of the day was nice, productive day. Then worked out a little bit. That for me was a good, productive, happy day. If all I did was just basically not do anything and just relax, right? I would be very depressed. And then the day I would be like, oh my God, right? I don't feel good. I get headaches. I got all kinds of issues going on because my mind is not busy. I'm not productive. For some people, sitting on the beach, having a great, a margarita or whatever it is, people drink with those, tiki drinks in them. They feel, oh my God, I had a great relaxing day. That's just not how I'm built. I've never been that way. I don't know if I'll ever be that way till maybe the day I'm dead. I want to be productive. I want to be doing something so that I feel good about me. So you define what it is for you. But this becomes important. And a lot of times we all think it's stuff, right? It's not stuff. I'm the first culprit where I love to buy different things. But I buy different things every year and a half, couple of years, because I'm just trying to live my childhood dreams, right? I mean, all the things that I used to have on the wall. Someday I'm going to be able to accomplish that, right? Today, I'm very fortunate and very blessed that I'm able to accomplish that. And I'm like, if not today, when? right? When I'm 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old. But that to me is all a lifestyle. That to me is all a sense of freedom, being able to do what I want, when I want, but at least I get to design my life. And that's the thing you have to think about, is that are you in charge of your own life? Do you get to choose what you're doing? If you get to choose what you're doing, meaning if you choose to be busy in terms of work, you choose that, right? That is freedom in one way. And if you get to have the finances so you can do what you want. Now, just understand, right? Um, Maybe today I may be a little bit better off than I was at another point in my life, right? So I have the amount of choices that I have expanded. They're not unlimited, right? And they're not unlimited for anybody unless you're in a category of a person that's just born with that kind of wealth. That's a different category. Most of us are not there. Most of us are never going to be there. There are going to be some good limits, but I truly, truly feel that if you truly want to say what is freedom, freedom to me is going to be a financial freedom where you can live an extraordinary quality of life. And you have to decide what that quality of life is. And the second issue is going to be is time. But I truly believe that just if you had all the money in the world and you had all the time in the world, you're going to get bored out of your mind. Unless there is some sort of structure, some sort of a commitment, some sort of a place that you want to show up or you want to do, for most people, it's going to lead to problems. Just having all the time in the world, all the money in the world is going to lead to debauchery, and it's going to lead to depression. You feel value when you give value. The more value you give out, the more valuable you feel, because it's not just about buying stuff. It's at the end of the day. I mean, think about this, right? All this time in my life, I had all these ideas, right? I had the one day I'm going to buy a Rolls, right? One day I'm going to buy a Ferrari. All these crazy ideas that I had, right? And then to be able to accomplish those goals, right? To be able to get your friends to go in it, hey man, let's go enjoy it. Let's go be able to share in that joy. That's where the fun comes from, right? If you just buy something and you just have something, the hell are you going to do with it? Right? There's no fun in that. There's the fun and joy is always in being able to share it, in able to have people around you that you can enjoy things with. I mean, for me, it's exciting to be able to have an airplane and to be able to take a few friends, go hiking. Last time it was with Jared, it was Michael, his wife, and more than, oh, look what I got. What the fun is, be able to share that fun where other people feel all excited to be able to share that particular experience. And that's where the fun and joy comes from. But again, this is going to get defined a little bit differently, and especially if you have kids. I don't have kids, so I basically find people to do stuff with and do things with people who I can relate to, because I have a hard time relating to most people. Yet for people who have kids, you have your own family, if your parents are around, that may be the greatest joy for you, to be able to take the finances, to be able to take your time and direct to that. This was just one of those things Ms. Jennifer said today. We should talk about what is ultimate freedom and what is ultimate freedom for you. Having said that, make sure you invite your friends, you invite your family to Burr Cashflow Investors. Every single week, we try to come to you with some value. Sometimes it's real estate related. Like today's topic was not so much real estate. It was more of a philosophy. It was more of, where are you? Right? Are you in a place where you have the time, you have the finances, or what does that look like for you? Because for each of us, it's going to look a little bit different. For a lot of people find my way of living very odd, right? Very obnoxious. But again, that's not yours, right? It's my way of living. Because to me, I'm happy being busy. I'm happy, with a lot of things going on all the time. That's just how I am built. That's how my dad was. And till the last day of his life, literally, he was extremely, extremely busy, loved what he did, and God bless, hopefully he's in a better place. So we're all built differently. All our brains work differently. But the question truly becomes is, what is freedom to you? And I think for all of us, we chase something all the time. I'm the biggest culprit of this. But at least one thing I feel very proud of to have accomplished is that I'm living the life that I wanted to live, right? I'm at least today, I'm not living somebody else that defined my life, right? If I do mastery, I do it because I want to do it. I buy more properties or I do real estate, I'm able to go places because I have the choice to be able to do it. And that is ultimate freedom, to be able to do what you want, be it work, be it vacation. And as long as your lifestyle, as long as your business allows you the opportunity to be able to do that, to me, I think you have ultimate freedom. From outside, it may look at, oh my God, somebody's so busy. But clearly, if they choose to be busy, then they're choosing that. As long as you make that choice, you are free, my friend. Having said that, please invite your friends, please invite your family, have other investors join the group. And when you do, we will enter your name into the drawing, which we have. The next one is going to be for tickets for two, either a couple, you want to take your friends with you, you want to take your kids with you. Tickets for two, $2,000 in value. Invite them to be a part of the Burr Investors family, and talk to you on Monday.